This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Dunedin's SPCA complex in Opaho is getting a $1.5 million facelift. The decline in water quality in New Zealand rivers and lakes may affect tourism. And we check out the best of Southland sheds at the Invercargill's Blokes and Sheds tour. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Dunedin's SPCA complex in Opaho is getting a $1.5 million facelift. SPCA Otago Executive Officer Sophie McSkimmon says the premises have been in urgent need of refurbishment and following issues including a rat infestation. Roselle Lebone has more.
Even the dogs seem excited about the new developments at Dunedin's SPCA, with the first stage of the new building just completed. I'm Roselle Lebone. The SPCA building campaign here in Dunedin will focus on construction of a new building to house an education centre, laundry facility and 2 veterinary consultation rooms.
We've got a reception area down the bottom, a couple of consult rooms, veterinary consult rooms, a massive storage area because we have really struggled to store our food.
SPCA Otago Executive Officer Sophie McSkimmon says the next stage, demolition of the dog quarantine area, is happening tomorrow.
We've got digger drivers coming tomorrow to demolish that. They said they're not going to get out of their diggers because they're scared of rats. So that building that we're demolishing tomorrow is, that's part of the rodent, it's a real rodent problem. So this is the first stage. This is the first stage of the building. So the tender has gone out for the second stage. It's been accepted. So Stevenson Williams, who are building the first stage, also starting on the second stage. And that stage, I say, the demolishing starts tomorrow.
The project means more wide open spaces and cleaner premises for the animals. The Otago SPCA Charitable Trust has committed $500,000 to the project, and a black tie dinner at the Savoy on May the 27th raised nearly $40,000. About $180,000 is needed to finish the 3-stage project. However, McSkimmon says emergency funding to make up the difference is available.
So we've had $500,000 our own trust has put into the building project, and then with various kind grants, we've got $150,000 from the Otago Community Trust. So we are up to about just over $1.3 million. Our trust has said that they will come and help us if we don't get that last $180,000.
It is hoped all 3 stages of construction will be complete by the end of the year. Roselle Lebone, The South Today.
Queenstown Police are continuing their investigation into a sexual violation incident in the early hours of Sunday morning. The incident occurred in the Fernhill suburb of Fernhill, south of the Queenstown CBD, and police are appealing for information about any suspicious activity in the vicinity of the McKinnon Terrace Fernhill Road intersection between 1:30 and 3:30 a.m. In a statement, Detective Sergeant Brian Cameron says the indecent assault took place in the victim's bedroom after the attacker managed to enter through an unlocked door. The male offender is described as a dark-skinned male with a foreign accent. He is of average height with an athletic build and was wearing a grey hooded sweatshirt. Police are also seeking information from a young woman helped by the victim earlier in the night near Starbucks in central Queenstown. A University of Otago expert says the decline in the quality of water in New Zealand rivers and lakes may affect tourism. Last week, tourism lecturer Brent Lovelock told a water symposium a recent survey reveals tourists notice declining water quality, which is affecting their experience.
Lakes and rivers.
The University of Otago tourism expert Brent Lovelock is keen on a visitor levy to help look after the New Zealand landscape. During last week's water symposium in Queenstown, Lovelock said tourism had become the country's biggest export earner.
So it's always going to have an exalted position in our economy, and which makes it very difficult to challenge.
In a recent tourist survey he ran, Lovelock asked visitors to comment on water quality and how it impacted their experience.
They comment on the insect life, they comment on water clarity, the smell of the water, quality of the fish, quality of the fisheries. Overall, they say that's going. downhill.
He said a lot of the tourists he surveyed had visited Southland and Otago and said they were no longer able to fish in low-lying rivers because there were no more fish to be found.
New Zealand fuel will be no more if this continues and the evidence is clear.
Tourism is New Zealand's largest export earner, ahead of dairy in 2015-2016 and bringing in $34.7 billion in 2016. Lovelock said her survey showed many were attracted by New Zealand's rivers, lakes and streams.
So water is hugely important for our destination, knowledge. And of course there's the other side of the equation with tourism as well. Sometimes tourism is normally we put huge pressure on our water resources sometimes. Look at Queenstown, 3.5 million visitor nights here. You know, you can't tell me that doesn't put a huge amount of pressure and service on people going to the toilet, and that has to be treated somewhere, and it actually ends up into our waterways. And the tourism industry as a collective has been pretty quiet, in fact probably 100% quiet on this, because people are still making a buck.
In the long run, he says word that New Zealand's 100% pure brand is false will eventually reach the world and...
The people who might be prepared to come here now are those who are a little bit different from the people that we're used to in the past.
And Lovelock says tourist destinations like Queenstown may begin to experience higher numbers of low-yield visitors rather than the high-value tourists it wants. Mina Amso, The South Today.
Destination Queenstown CEO Graham Budd disputes this, saying there is no evidence at all that our water quality in our region is creating any negative impact on visitors or tourism to Queenstown. A car ended up in a roadside ditch near the top of Dunedin's northern motorway on Friday. The accident happened around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The car had slid into the ditch on Waitati Valley Road at Leith's Saddle. Police said the driver was unable to get out of the vehicle due to the driver's door being against the ditch. Emergency services freed the driver, who was assessed at the scene and did not have to be transported to hospital. Blokes, blokettes and mini blokes spent their Sunday poking around some of the best of Southland's sheds. The South Today's Sharon Rees and her mini blokes joined this year's Invercargill's Blokes and Sheds tour.
Dozens of people set out from Southland Boys High School yesterday for Invercargill's 17th annual Blokes and Sheds tour. The tour took in a selection of sheds used for a variety of businesses, collections and hobbies.
Sometimes it's the collection in the shed, sometimes it's the shed itself, sometimes it's the bloke who could be a real character, or the combination of all three. They all have an interesting story to tell, whether it be their hobby, sometimes it's their profession, and a lot of them mix the two together, as you've just seen here.
Robbie Miller's Insignia Signs workshop was the first stop of the day, revealing a collection of cars, retro signs, gadgets and his personal artworks.
Oh, it's good. Meet some interesting people, and yeah, obviously a lot of these people have got treasures of their own in their own sheds. So yeah, all like-minded people, I suppose.
Bowie says the tour provides an insight into the pastimes of Southlanders, with many having a Burt Munro feel.
We've seen boats being built, a lot of car restorations. Every shed, and then you'll find something that's just a little bit quirky or a little bit different. Like the gentleman here who sign writes and things, but he paints fish and he paints fruit. So there's some real ingenuity out there, and what you saw about Burt Munro and the world's fastest Indian, that spirit is still alive and well in Southland Sheds.
Lunch was provided by some Southland Boys mini blokes at the Invercargill Men's Shed, which Bowie says is in the process of becoming a permanent shed for like-minded people so they can bring their hobbies together. I'm Sharon Rees for The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, police arrest 4 youths from Gore connected to a spate of burglaries last Friday, and a new exhibition at the Dunedin Public Art Gallery showcases the work of a relatively unknown New Zealand artist.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
Hi, welcome back to Alex Campbell Menswear. Check out our fantastic knitwear selection. 25% off. Possum, Merino Possum. Pure wools, wool mixes. Some of them are even New Zealand made. 25% off.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
We're a 25 Moray Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost feel as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life. Tuesdays, 7:30.
Welcome back. 4 youths from Gore, aged between 12 and 16, have been arrested by police. The arrests were made in relation to offences early on Friday morning. The charges against the youth include a burglary at Stadium Southland in Invercargill, a motor vehicle stolen from Gore, break-ins on several vehicles at the Woodlands garage, as well as vandalism at the Woodlands township. 3 of the youths appeared in the Invercargill Youth Court and were remanded on bail to Gore. A new exhibition at the Dunedin Public Art Gallery showcases the work of a relatively unknown New Zealand artist. The exhibition covers 20 years of the artist's output. Rudy Adrian has much more.
From small beginnings at art school in Christchurch over 20 years ago to solo shows in museums around the world, Frances Upperchard is now considered as one of New Zealand's most successful artists. Her work, which echoes the grotesques of Bosch and Brohel, is not well known in her home country. In fact, this Dunedin exhibition is the first full overview of Frances Upperchard's work ever displayed in New Zealand, with pieces on loan from collections around the world. Exhibition curator Charlotte Day is well aware of the lack of recognition Upperchard has received in New Zealand so far.
She's very well known internationally. She is pretty well known in New Zealand too, but she hasn't had a kind of major exhibition here before. So this show is an opportunity for us to bring a big body of work together, from some of her very earliest pieces to work that she's made very recently, and show the development of her practice over that time.
The exhibition, entitled Jealous Saboteurs, is on display at the Dunedin Public Art Gallery until end November. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Invercargill's James Hargis High School gym was packed with movers and groovers on Sunday for the Invercargill Rock and Roll Club Championships. Competitors dressed in their eccentric outfits and some as young as 5 years old showed off the moves they've been learning. Sharon Rees reports.
Couples from the intermediate, junior and junior senior groups of the Rock and Roll Club Championships took to the floor to warm up for their heats. The juniors section, with couples aged from just 5 to 9 years old, kicked off with a slow dance. Then Macy Crossan and Alessandra Lafargo led the way as the dancers picked up the pace to Everybody's Rocking Tonight. The senior novices performed soon after to show their younger counterparts how it's done, with Mackenzie Middlemiss and Jaden McNaughton performing some of the trickier moves. Couples danced well into the night, followed by a presentation of awards for each section, including Best Dressed, Most Improved and Masters. I'm Sharon Rees with The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, internet mogul Kim.com has spent the weekend in Queenstown house hunting, and the Otago branch of the New Zealand Model Vehicle Club is hosting its annual exhibition at Dunedin's Community Gallery.
Autumn is here. Too late to sow grass seed, but never fear. Ready Lawn is here. Ready Lawn, your perfect all year round solution. Call Ready Lawn today.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
University of Otago. Usually the atmosphere is charged with the energy of student life. But this week is the week before exams.
Hey, Dane. Not now, man. I'm panicking. Come on, mate. I know just what you need. In here? No. Is this it? No. This is the place to ease your stress.
Hey, Tane. Fancy a little cuddle?
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product, and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Hi, welcome back to Alex Campbell Menswear. Check out our fantastic knitwear selection. 25% off. Possum, merino possum, pure wools, wool mixes. Some of them are even New Zealand made. 25% off.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. Proudly brought to you by multi-award winning Garador.
They say nothing in life is free, but some things are, like smelling the flowers, random acts of kindness, hugs, compliments, nice hat, and best of all, how good is free TV? More shows than you can shake a stick at in New Zealand. Watch it live for free, on demand for free, record for free with Freeview.
Internet entrepreneur Kim.com has spent the weekend in Queenstown house hunting. The tech mogul, who is fighting extradition to the United States, stayed in ICART's private hotel's $10,000 a night hotel apartment known as the Penthouse. Over the weekend, Kim.com posted photographs and videos on his Twitter account showing him and his partner in the resort town. The words "moving to Queenstown" were amongst the captions to some of the images posted on his social media account. Last month, a Hong Kong judge released some of his substantial fortune in 4 containers of possessions, enabling the move south. The Otago branch of the New Zealand Model Vehicle Club is hosting its annual exhibition at Dunedin's Community Gallery. This year's theme is Going, Going, Gone, in reference to the ending of Ford and Holden manufacturing in Australasia.
They're models and they're looking good. But like many of their full-sized counterparts, they're not being made in New Zealand or Australia anymore. Going, Going, Gone is the theme of this year's Otago branch of the New Zealand Model Vehicle Club's exhibition, which Club Secretary Eric Brockie says reflects the end of automotive manufacturing in Australasia.
It was featuring on Ford and Holden from Australia because Ford have already closed their manufacturing down in Australia and Holden are about to close down in the near future. So that was the reason we thought, oh, we'll pick Going, Going, Gone for the title and cover the Falcon and the Holden era from Australia manufacturing.
He says the main reason the club hosts these exhibitions is to attract new members. As he says, age claims 1 or 2 members per year. Brockie has been a collector for much of his life and believes vehicles made the transition from toys to collectibles around 60 years ago.
It was really only in the late 1950s that collecting model vehicles became a hobby. Up until then they were just toys, and even in those early days they were still classed as toys, not models. But of course now the hobby has completely changed and they are now called models, not toys as they were, although a lot of those earlier toys are now very collectible items in the hands of the collectors.
He says as soon as this exhibition is down, he and the other club members will be working towards hosting the nationwide exhibition.
So the Otago branch has just been appointed the host branch to organise the 50th Jubilee in 2019. So we're looking forward to that and just starting to do a lot of planning for it now.
Another feature of this exhibition is Brockie's own collection of memorabilia and marketing materials from a famous soft drink brand. Eric Brockie says this is less than half of his collection, but he's really proud to have some rare pieces. The exhibition is up until Saturday, August the 19th. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
With left-leaning political parties recovering from internal ructions and just over a month until New Zealand goes to the polls, 4 Canterbury University students at Elm Gardens were asked by reporter David Hill for their political views. It seemed that climate change was on the top of their minds as well as the power of the youth vote.
I would love commitments from all politicians to say that they're going to take the Zero Carbon Act and run with it and pass it through the next Parliament. I think that's like the number one thing for me for this election is, yeah, how do we get support from all sides on this?
So yeah, climate change, we've got an abundance of resource with wind and hydro and solar that we can take advantage of. We're quite lucky in that regard.
Climate change doesn't affect everybody in the same way. There's people who are more advantaged and won't be affected as severely, so I think it's important for us to recognise that and make sure that everybody's voices are heard in this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we should have MPs having presences on their local universities. I think it should be a no-brainer that you should come to your local university if you've got a reasonably sized university like we do here. You know, we've got 15,000 students, and yet we do ask often our MPs to come in and they just ignore it, and that seems slightly weird because that could be a large amount of votes there.
And I would just look at what happened in the UK recently, right? Like, tons of young people came out to vote and it really was a game changer. And you know, what could happen in New Zealand if the same thing happened here? Like, if we get tons of young people, it might be, yeah, there might be unexpected outcome.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. The Dunedin SPCA is in the middle of a major rebuild after 70 years. Tourism lecturer Brent Lovelock has told a Queenstown Water Symposium declining water quality will affect tourism. And the Invercargill Bloat Shed event was held this Sunday. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig Page.
Hi there. Look, we're reporting on a bit of a snub really with the Australian Rugby Union leading up into our test match. We've got the Big Bledisloe test match in Dunedin on August 26th. And we've just learned today that the Wallabies won't be arriving into the city until late on Thursday night, so it's less than 2 days before the match. They'll also be packing up and leaving the following, before lunch the next day, so they're in for less than 3 days for this test. It's I guess the disappointing thing is they actually crossed the Tasman on the Monday and they're going to spend most of their build-up in Christchurch staying at Clearwater Resort.
So what's their excuse for not staying in Dunedin?
We haven't had a reason from them, but it seems to be a bit of a growing trend from some of these foreign sides as well. They seem to leave their arrival late and get out quick. I don't know whether it's the weather or what, but you know, test matches in Dunedin have always been big occasions and a great opportunity to showcase your country and the sport in general, and people get a chance to go and watch you train and rub shoulders with these players. So it's really disappointing, particularly when you look at the state of Australian rugby at the moment. You know, they are struggling. Their coach is under pressure as well, Michael Cheika, so it would be nice to think they could do a bit of a PR exercise in Dunedin. In contrast, the All Blacks are arriving on Sunday night of this week and will be here all week. Plenty of opportunities for the public to see them as well, so yeah, there's lessons to be learnt there, I would have thought.
Yeah.
We've also got a bit of a story about police with concerns about proposals to provide 24-hour cover on some of our rural police stations. They got some more funding earlier this year. We're going to be able to put 24-hour coverage in places like Balclutha, Wanaka and Alexandra right into the wee hours, but police associations now raised the issues that there's only going to be sole charge, only one person on duty at those times, and they see that as a bit of a safety issue, so they're obviously taking it back to the police themselves and trying to get some changes there and maybe a bit more money to get some more numbers as well. So
I think anyone would see that as a health and safety issue.
Oh, certainly, you know, and when the trouble hits, it's they need all the numbers they can get. So yeah, hopefully they can get that sorted out. And some good news: the America's Cup's coming back to our region as well. We of course had our big tour in the central city last month, but now there's confirmation they're going to be taking the Cup to Oamaru, Cromwell, Queenstown, Invercargill and Wanaka. All of those towns wrote to the America's Cup team asking that they bring it on tour, and they've decided to do that. They're going to do it next month, take it around the regions, and people will get a chance to get their photo and have a look at the trophy close up.
Are you going to get out and get your photo?
Probably not. Probably not. And
Greg.
of course, just travel. We're off to Mexico, so some nice stories there.
Fantastic. Looking forward to reading that one too. Lovely. Thanks, Craig. And now look at what's happening with tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silverhorn Sportsville.
Starting with today's southern view, taken of a dove preening in a tree. Looking at the situation, a weak front will approach tomorrow, but the airflow will remain westerly over the South Island this week, with more active fronts approaching later in the week. To the southern outlook, Balclutha and Catlins are becoming fine with 11 degrees. Gore and Lumsden sit at 13 with increasing high cloud. To the central outlook, Alexandra is fine in 13, 12 degrees for Queenstown and Wanaka with fine weather, but Te Anau can see rain later on with a high of 12. To the northern outlook, it's fine weather all around. Oamaru and Timaru sit at 11, a bit warmer inland for Amarama and Twizel at 13 degrees. And here in Dunedin tonight, showers tonight with an overnight low of 7 degrees. Tomorrow sees the showers clearing and a high of 11 and a low of 2. And on Wednesday, mainly sunny and 12 in Invercargill. We'll be fine with an overnight low of 1. Tomorrow is 13 and a low of 7 and mostly fine. Some showers possible on Wednesday and a high of 12. And that's our news for this Monday. For the latest news from the southern region, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook and at channel39.co.nz. I hope you all have a great evening. Take care. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.